Tonight on KRTR Local News at 6, Union High School has experienced a mold problem, where it came from and what moving forward looks like. Plus, it's Cattle Congress season. We'll take a look at the fun in store. And it's a dance like no other. Stay tuned for the details. Good evening. Thank you for watching KRTR Local News at 6. I'm Dan Richards. If you could smash those like and subscribe buttons, that would be a big help to get KRTR Local established. And if you like the content and want to share it with friends, that's super appreciated as well. Union High School has experienced a mold problem, with consultants saying that they believe the building's 65-year-old HVAC system is likely to blame for not keeping up with the humidity control needs of the building. The building it is serving now is much larger than when it was originally installed in the 60s. Union High School has experienced the addition of a gym, weight room, band and choir rooms, and district offices, with future additions planned. It seems as though the growth of the school over the recent years, along with the system's excessive age, has proved to be more than it can handle.
So we first started noticing the problem the week that teachers got back. Our vocal music teacher brought it to our attention that there was looked like some black mold growing on the walls of his room. We did some air quality testing by Friday of that week. They had a humidity gauge that went through each one of the rooms, and you could really tell the differences. We had rooms that were around maybe 55% humidity and rooms that were upwards of high 80s, like 89, 90% humidity. So they did those air quality testing on that Friday. When we got those results back, which was on Tuesday afternoon, they came back positive for some mold in 2 classrooms, a social studies classroom and a special education classroom, and then in our vocal music room. We moved those 2 classrooms immediately. The band room and everything seemed fine, did not come back positive for that, and the classrooms around those 2 also did not. But we did air quality testing for multiple spaces, including almost every classroom on the kind of the east side of. We were already having vocal music in the auditorium when the year started because it was visible. We could see the mold, so we knew that that space was a problem. With the vocal and band room being literally right next to each other and they shared a door space, they're like, there's just no way that we can say with any certainty that there wouldn't be some cross-contamination of mold. When it comes to the mold mitigation, Thursday, September 4th, they came in and started work on cleaning those spaces and getting all of those spaces cleaned up. We're going to do air quality testing after they have cleaned, after they've done the music wing. We'll do air quality testing and the same thing with the classrooms. Once we have done that, we're also going to be adding paint, some new paint and new ceiling tiles. The key that we have to do to manage this problem, at least until a bond issue passes, is we have to control for the humidity. So the thing that we have done is we put a dehumidifier in each of the classrooms. And then in the vocal and band area, along with our auditorium, we're going to be adding some dehumidifiers into those spaces to control for the humidity levels. That's not a perfect solution, but we'll be able to manage it for at least a while until we can get really your long-term solution is to change the HVAC system. So to make some clarity around that and why that's happened, the way our HVAC unit was set up in our vocal and band area, also along with the district and high school offices, in order to remove the humidity from those spaces, you have to run hot water through the pipes. The only way to do that in our building is if we heat the classrooms. The water that we get from the hot water will flow into those classrooms irregardless if we don't need it or not. So in those spaces, I would be literally heating the space and air conditioning the heat, which would make no sense at all. So that's why we are putting the dehumidifiers in there to prevent the mold issue from reoccurring in the meantime. And then once, in the hopes that our bond issue passes, we can create a more long-term sustainable solution by redoing our HVAC system in the entire building, thus creating much better flow and control of humidity levels, air conditioning, and heating throughout the entire building.
While each of the high humidity classrooms each have a dehumidifier in them, the long-term fix is to replace the building's 65-year-old HVAC system, which is part of the bond referendum up for vote in November. The National Cattle Congress started today and goes through Monday. From rodeos to cattle shows, mini donuts to carnival rides, there is something there for everyone. I suppose that's why the slogan this year is, "It's everyone's fair." General admission is $10 daily, veterans and seniors get in for $8, and kids 8 and under get in free. If you plan to go every day, their Super Pass is just $30 and grants you admission to all 5 days of the Cattle Congress. You can get more information at nationalcattlecongress.com. Union High School is hosting a daddy-daughter dance this Saturday. Daddies and daughters are invited to the upper gym from 2 to 3 p.m. to dance, laugh, and enjoy the moment. Fathers and their daughters in 5th grade or younger are welcome. Admission is $25 with proceeds going to union activities, and you get $5 off if you bring a receipt from a Dysart or LaPorte City lunch restaurant. Coming up after the break, we'll have our sports recap and sports outlook for the week. Later, we'll go over this week's forecast, community calendar, and a special fall activity you can take part in. Stick around, we'll be right back. You're watching KRTR Local News at 6. Welcome back. Middle school football coach Josh Dunkelberger had this to say regarding their opener at home last week. The UMS football team opened its season on Thursday with a home game against Grundy Center. Notable plays include Jackson Weaver's 70-yard kick return touchdown, Merrick Pospisil's 26-yard touchdown run, and Nash Henning's 83-yard pick six. We'll take the lessons we learned during this defeat and work hard in preparation for our next game against East Marshall. Last week, the 7th grade volleyball team fought hard for their season opener. 7th grade coach Hannah Erickson said, "The 7th grade volleyball showed that their hard work in the first couple of weeks of practice has paid off. Serving was a major highlight for the 7th grade volleyball team." The Knights football team rolled to a dominant 52-20 victory, powered by senior quarterback Caden Sorensen's standout performance. Sorensen was nearly perfect through the air, completing 13 of 16 passes for 229 yards and a touchdown, while also rushing for 93 yards and 4 more scores. Senior receiver Levi Hadishek called in 6 catches for 143 yards and a touchdown to spark the passing game. The Knights defense forced 2 interceptions and tallied multiple sacks and tackles for loss, sealing a statement win under Friday Night Lights. Last Saturday, varsity volleyball went to Waterloo East for the Haley Eckerman tournament. The ladies split their matches, falling to Independence in 3 sets, but bouncing back strong. They topped to Tripola in straight sets 21-9 and 21-15, then closed out the day with another sweep over Columbus Catholic 21-15 and 21-13. The girls swimming co-op with Waterloo West left last weekend's meet with 505 points, ahead of second place Decorah at 437 and third place Grinnell with 397. Varsity girls tennis had over a week break since their NICL tournament last Monday. Today they are at the Class 1A Region 3 individual tournament at Burns Park in Waterloo, competing against 8 other teams. That tournament is expected to conclude later tonight. As of 3:30 p.m., which is when we lock in for the show for prep, Coach Wittenberg said that all of the individual players advanced past the first round, and senior Olivia Keegan and sophomore Cameron Folk both advanced to the second round. Let's wish them good luck as they carry on. Tomorrow is a busy night. 7th and 8th grade football will travel to East Marshall to face the Mustangs. All levels of cross country will compete at Independence, and JV and varsity volleyball will host Waterloo East and Columbus Catholic. Friday night is homecoming with the Knights playing the AP Falcons, and Evan Bruns will be the kid captain for the game. As kid captain, Evan will get to hang out with the team during the game, during warm-ups, join the captains for the coin toss, roam the sidelines, and much more. Congratulations to Evan! If you would like to enter your student into the Kid Captain raffle, you can find the link to do so at krtrlocal.tv and then click on Evan's Kid Captain story in the sports box. On Saturday, freshman volleyball will travel to South Tama and varsity girls tennis will head out to Grinnell. Next week on Monday, cross country will head to Denver, JV volleyball to Gladbrook Rhinebeck, and JV football will host Vinton Shellsburg. Next Tuesday, middle school volleyball will travel to Denver, high school volleyball to Wapsie Valley, and girls swimming to Cedar Rapids, Washington. Coming up after the break, we've got a look at weather over the next 5 days. Plus, there's a lot happening over the next few days, from downtown strolls to pumpkins. There's not a shortage of fun this weekend. Stick around, we'll be right back. You're watching KRTR Local News at 6. Welcome back. Well, I hope you enjoyed False Fall because second summer is here to stay for a bit, with highs sticking around the high 70s and low 80s. The periodic scattered showers we've had over the past couple days are expected to continue through Saturday night. And the daylight is getting shorter and shorter as we approach winter solstice, which happens on December 21st, with the sun not rising until almost 7 a.m. Monday and setting just after 7 p.m. The weather photo we have was submitted by Michelle Morrison. She took it last Thursday over by Brandon Road. You can share your photos for the weather forecast by visiting krtrlocal.tv and clicking on the share link in the menu. The LaPorte City Historical Preservation Commission's Sip and Stroll event is not coming up this Sunday, but the next, on the 28th. You can enjoy an afternoon walking tour down Main Street featuring 12 storyboards telling the history of the town. There will be live music, wine, beer, and lunch hosted by the FFA Historical and Ag Museum. You can watch an interview where Jane Erdahl talks about the event at krtrlocal.tv. Hanson's Hollow is opening this weekend from 10 to 5 on Saturday and noon to 5 on Sunday. Hanson's has activities for kids, mums, and of course, pumpkins. Starting September 27th, they'll have a food truck on site each weekend. The LaPorte City citywide garage sales are this weekend, and resident Caitlin Hancock has put together a list of garage sales with addresses, which days they are open, and what kind of items you can find. You can find the link to this list at krtrlocal.tv. And you can find more information about these and other events at krtrlocal.tv. Just click on the community calendar link in the menu. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining KRTR Local News at 6. We'll be right back here next Wednesday at 6. See you then.